In fact, should I just stream it as well?
Can do. Hmm.
I don't know if I can stream it as
Or
well.
should we just upload it to Twitch retroactively because it's not going to be watched anyway?
Well, I mean, yeah,
Um,
I mean, it's not going to be watched anyway, so I'm just going to watch it back. I like
and
that
then make
that Twitch saves it itself, and then I can just watch it back later.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
cool. So we're streaming, we're recording. I've just full screened YouTube. So you count down from three, and I
Okay.
will hit play.
Are we already streaming?
So it should be loading now. In fact, while it's loading, let me grab a drink.
Cool, cool, cool.
Hello.
Hey,
Oh, hey.
did you get a drink?
Um, yeah, I did indeed. I did indeed.
Cool.
Um, cool. So we're streaming now. I've started recording. We're ready to hit play. I think what we do now is let's just speculate what we thought was going to. I think what would be cool is that let's just treat right now as if we were streaming.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That's what I'm
um,
saying. Just like sneakily pretend that we were there for it.
yeah. No, but I mean, I was even gonna say like let's just explain the fact that we've just been running around everything fucked up last minute, and
Yeah.
now here we are, like just pretending to stream.
It's
Um,
like it really demonstrates how charming we are.
we're just so
Owning it,
fucking
owning
charming. Oh my
owning up to
god.
our own mistakes. Okay, are we
Okay,
good?
we're in the room. Okay, cool. So, welcome to the stream. Um, we are doing a reaction to the state of PlayStation State of Play today.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
fuck yeah. So, my name's Chris, and together I am here with
And I'm Zane, and yeah, together we are Creative Chaos, and we are
yeah,
here to stay.
bitch.
And yeah, so just to give you a little bit of a background on both of us, we're both like absolutely massive PlayStation fans from pretty much day one. So I feel like this would be a good starting point for this channel, you know?
Definitely. So the plan was to use this state of play as practice for us to stream. This is our first stream together. Um, so that's why there's no visuals. We just wanted to actually get used to what we're doing. Um, but yeah, long story short, everything fucked up 5 minutes before the sprint stream was initially supposed to start. So we missed it live, but we persevered. We've got all the equipment working, and now we're just going to treat this as if it is live, and we're just going to watch the stream that was uploaded onto YouTube 20 minutes ago and
And and
pretend like it's happening right now.
and I feel like it's a testament to our character that we chose not to pretend like we were there for the actual stream. We were just like, yeah, you know what? Let's be honest about this and upfront about this because that really demonstrates true character, doesn't it? And it
100%.
is, and I definitely didn't accidentally say on stream earlier. Let's pretend like we were actually there. It did like a yeah, just to initiate the bios for each of us. Chris is the good-hearted one, and I'm like the sneaky evil one, clearly.
No,
But
we
yeah,
need both of that. But yeah, I mean, we're called creative chaos for a reason. I mean, this has been a fucking train wreck from the get go. But do you know what? We're here and we're doing it, and we weren't
and
gonna fucking leave tonight without doing this stream.
and
So
it's creative.
and it's
and it's
creative.
we fuck up in creative ways, and I feel like there's a real novelty to that. So let's get this shit started. So Chris, what are you expecting from today's state of play?
Well, I had a look at the blog yesterday, which pretty much. Do you know what? That's one thing I like about Sony recently, as of late. Um, they they tend to give you a good idea of what's coming, and I
Yeah,
appreciate that because I don't want to be getting my hopes up for some shit that isn't gonna happen. I like
yeah.
the way that they just shut the fanboys down straight away. Um, well,
It's like, what do you have? What problem do you have against the fanboys? That's our people.
no, I mean I am a fanboy, so I include myself in that. But it's also like, yeah. I mean, I'm over explaining my point now. I tend to do that. Um,
I I know exactly what you mean though, because like being a massive Nintendo fan, when they announce a direct coming up, everybody gets super caught up in the hype, and they're like, "Oh man, what's it gonna be? Are we finally gonna get like the port of a game that was never released in the West, that was made 20 years ago, and they still haven't translated it?" Shit, shit like that. You start speculating too much. Whereas I feel like Sony are pretty good at tapering your expectations and making sure we know, like, hey, it's not going to be anything too crazy, but then they can like come out of nowhere, out of left field, and blow your mind
mm,
and say, "Oh, by the way, here's Horizons Zero West, Forbidden West, Horizon Zero,
Zero
Horizon
West, Forbidden West.
Horizon Forbidden Dawn, French, um, Horizons Forbidden West, and here's some really sexy water." So we will get something that we weren't expecting today. I can pretty much guarantee it.
Do you think?
Um,
I don't know if we will, man. Because they said in the. I mean, it's pretty much. I mean, I hope we do. I hope I'm wrong.
hmm,
But I think the only kind of big thing I'm expecting today is like an in-depth look at Deathloop. I think they said there was going to be like half an hour of footage of that. I can't remember if the total state of play was going to be half an hour or if the footage of Deathloop was going to be half an hour. But
may
well,
I be so bold? May I be
yes,
so bold?
yes,
I would
sir.
like to make a I would like to make a prediction for this stream.
Mm, go
I
for
want
it,
to make
man.
a I want to make a prediction for the stream, and if I get it right, you have to buy me a burger. Yeah?
All right, all right, okay.
Okay. Okay. I predict that at some point during the stream there will be a game centered around a mouse. Now that might come across as really weird, right? But I don't know. I have one of those feelings. Every so often, it's like Spider-Man has his Spidey senses. I have my games potentially about a mouse sense.
You're an asshole. Okay, so the reason Zane brings that up is because
Don't
this.
explain it. Don't
No,
explain it. We
no,
don't need to go.
I'm
We will.
explaining this shit because that was an immediate. We're already streaming to an empty room, and you're telling fucking inside jokes. So I have to explain it. So,
We'll get there. That's why we will get
all right,
there.
fine, fine. I ain't buying you
In,
shit though.
that's fine. I wasn't expecting. You don't give me anything, so it's fine. So shall we hit play on the count of
You count
three?
down, man.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
three. I'm doing the honors for the
Are we?
first ever Creative
Yes, you
Chaos.
are. You are. Are we doing it on three or? Oh, sorry,
Yes.
on one or after one?
So I say three, two, one, and on one we hit the button.
So three, two, one, and then pause. Hit the button.
So we hit the button on one.
We hit the. So on two, we hit the button.
I feel like you're purposefully not misunderstanding me.
Okay, let's do it.
Three, two, one, go.
You did it after one. You said on one. I could. I think we did it at the same time. Anyway, it's no big deal.
It's okay. You should have like 5 seconds to go, but it's all right. I'm excited, and
I'm
definitely not
excited.
really tired.
I. I want to punch that fucking mouse in the face as soon as I see it.
There are those who look into the eyes of another.
How are you feeling about these VR games? Because I don't have any kind of plans to buy VR anytime soon.
I was super impressed with it when it first came out,
Yeah.
which must have been like 5 years ago now. I can't
Yeah, it
remember the
was.
year it came out.
Well, they've had two different versions since then. Oh, dude, look at the mouse.
Oh my god.
To achieve
Who
What a
would have
prediction.
thought? Oh my god, I'm gonna have nightmares about this fucking mouse tonight.
Wait a second, did it just say, like, this is a mature game? I swear it said warning mature content.
So
I
tell me,
hope so. Yeah, didn't it say oh?
Do we see this mouse get naked or something, Nicholas?
This mouse is gonna be slinging dick all through the kingdoms.
because her story
This is a mouse that fucks.
depends on you.
But yeah, sorry. So in terms of VR, I've only ever played like little bits here and there, when, like at stanchion stalls. So I played like a little bit of Resident Evil, and I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. Like I get motion sick really easily.
Oh, really? I think that's quite a common thing. But yeah, I was super interested in VR when it first came out, and I was really impressed by how good the PlayStation one was, because I watched a few like Let's Plays and stuff just to check it out. But like the headset cost as much as a console, so I just never bothered with it.
Yeah,
And I
seems a
think-
lot for something which is a bit gimmicky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks for kicking off our new state of play, Quill. Moss 2 is currently in development for PSVR.
But that definitely did say
We've got some
Moss,
more
right?
exciting
Because
updates
when
Yeah.
I read it, I was like, that says Mob.
Here's a
with
fun
Bs.
new multiplayer shooter from the team at Ilphonic.
Ooh, I like the name already.
Is this a like free to play online game? I think
I
it looks
hope
like a
so.
free to play online game. Yeah.
Well, this is cool. Brand new game.
You know what the people in this remind me of? Did you ever watch like that I don't know if it was Pixar or like Disney Animation. No, yeah, it's like Fortnite again. This is Fortnite.
This is basically a Splatoon and Fortnite ripoff.
Yeah, yeah.
I ain't mad at it.
Is there
I ain't mad at it.
And any game that kind of looks like this, I just think, yeah, it's a Fortnite ripoff immediately. But yeah, as I was saying, do you remember there was like that film from like the early 2000s, animated film called Robots?
Yeah, my brother fucking loves that movie.
That the people in this remind me of those Robots
I
characters.
feel it, yeah. Same energy. This does look cool though.
There you go. Free. It's a
Sick.
pretty
I
much
mean,
exactly what you'd expect it to be.
yeah.
That was your first
I'm
look
down
at
for that, though. It looks
Pay to
cool.
Get It, which begins early access today for PlayStation 5.
Brand new publisher, brand new
Tribes of
IP.
Midgard arrives later this month. Let's get a sneak peek at the post-launch plans for this addictive action RPG from Norsefell Games.
People need to chill
Okay.
with the Norse mythology,
and I'm here
man.
to tell you more about how Tribes of Midgard
They really are rinsing it, aren't they?
Holy
I mean,
shit.
They,
They
they went and changed Kratos from Greek to Norse in that last game, and I'm like, that seemed a bit unnecessary, didn't it? Like, him being a part of the Greek mythology made way more sense, considering his enemy was Ares, and it's like, I don't know, I feel like
That's-
they changed it to Norse because of Thor, how well that was doing.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I see what you mean, but I think they had plans for that long before.
It's just weird. Like, it's weird to switch the mythology after the fourth game.
It includes new classes, exclusive loot, and a powerful new boss.
I think it was either that or a new IP.
There will be
I think they had to drastically
unlock and
change
choose
it.
from.
We keep talking about everything other than the stream.
It's because they started off with kind of uninteresting games to say.
Yeah, that's a
Just
good point.
released.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only talk about. There's only so much stimulation you're gonna get from what looks like a
Because classes are complementary, it's fun to have a bit of everything
Hades-ish,
in your kit.
Hades,
Yeah.
but like
We're
medieval.
excited to see how your strategies will change as
So
we
this-
Hades, but medieval.
This state of play is basically, hey guys, here's the PlayStation equivalent to all the other console games you can't play.
Which give you new special powers
It's
to
like, look at all
customize
these
your
free-to-play
character
games we
even
have
more.
that you can play with your
The
friends that
Wolf
you
Cycle will launch
definitely
with
have.
30 rooms, including the Might of Mjolnir, which adds powerful chain lightning arcs to your attacks. You can use multiple runes together, and the effects can get pretty wild. You'll end up with different rune combinations each session, so you'll always have new ways to experiment.
I never really
there's
played
definitely-
these like top-down games,
Last but
that,
not
like
least,
that like
the biggest part
Diablo
of
type
every season
games.
are SAGA quests, a
Yeah,
series of
the only
quests
one
that
I've
will
played
move across
is
Midgard.
Hades,
In
to be
Season
honest,
1 Saga,
recently.
you'll unlock the ability to access
and
a
even that, that's like,
mysterious
what, is
lair
this-
and face down your most
It's also
powerful
a
challenge yet.
roguelike.
And the more
Yeah.
dangerous foes you
Hades
confront,
is coming
the
to
greater the
PlayStation now,
reward.
apparently.
Speaking upgrade rewards,
Yeah,
the Wolf
'cause
Sega is
I've been
stacked
playing it on
with
Switch.
season-exclusive weapons,
Oh,
armor,
nice.
Or am I not allowed to?
and truly
Am I
mighty
not allowed to say
companions.
that on a
I love
PlayStation
this
stream?
You're forgiven.
This saga is only the beginning.
Saga, I like the way she
Players-
says
players
saga.
gonna play.
With more seasons
Players
and
gonna
4 different
play.
parts of Norse
Well,
mythology,
haters gonna hate.
add even more to the game. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in Midgard soon on July 27th.
Yeah, they definitely need to give the Norse mythology a chill, man. I would love if they did something like with Egyptian stuff.
Yeah, me
Way
too.
more-
Do you see? I
just
was.
like, here's the god of death.
I feel like God of War was. It's since God of War that. Oh, bro, I'm so excited for this game.
You go back? I must go
What is it?
in order to end all this.
That's a really
I can't
nice
remember what
looking
it's
rabbit.
called. It. That rabbit
No,
fuck
that's
you up.
like, That's like full on. Is this a Metroidvania? Yeah, it looks like a Metroidvania.
Yeah, it's like a side scroller. It just. I don't know a lot about this game. I've only seen a little bit of gameplay. But
I just
I'm
really
here
like
for
the
it.
way the rabbit looks. Like, I really like the way the rabbit looks. I think I might buy it just because of how the rabbit looks.
I like that rabbit. That
I
trailer
read
was
that
like
as
no
Fiesta
different than the
first.
last
I
one.
was like,
Next, what do you get when you mix fighting games and battle
Nah.
royale?
God, another battle royale game.
Ancient legends are told. Of the battle between demons and
Well,
hunters.
at least this one isn't going to be from the Norse mythology.
Yeah, true.
Hi everyone, I'm John Georgie from Mantisco. And on behalf of our studio, I am thrilled to welcome you to the world of Hunter's Arena. In this mystical world, you will play as hunters who must fight deadly demons as well as other online players in order to
I like the
survive.
look of this.
As a skillful
Yeah.
hunter, you will master powerful
So,
swordplay and
It
martial
sounds
arts.
bad, but as
and
soon
will
as
be
they say
constantly
something
tested
along
on
the
your
lines of
skills
play
precise
with
timing
other
and
people,
fast decision-making.
it turns me off. And I know
I
that sounds
agree.
really
Don't
sad to
forget to
say.
have a little
It
fun
sounds
on your
really sad to
journey
say
by
that
customizing
because
your weapon from
playing with
disco
other people
balls
is
to
generally
rubber
more
ducks.
fun than playing with yourself. But it's like
As you
when the
explore our
emphasis
expansive
is
maps,
like
you
the
will be
online
able to
component, I
explore
tend to just go,
dungeons and
well, I'm
slay
not gonna,
ancient
I'm not
demons
gonna
to level
bother
up.
because I don't
We look
I don't
forward
have
to seeing
like strong
your
enough
personalized
internet, and I
strategies
just
on
don't
your
have
hunt.
the dedication.
I agree.
Another
And I
key
mean, I only really play them
Balboa
if they're
is
free.
none other than one of your own, a
Yeah.
hunter.
It's like, what are you losing,
Always have
basically?
different
Yeah,
strategies in
exactly.
mind and use the
This is
environment
nice
around
looking
you
though.
when
The,
facing
Yeah.
the
enemies.
actual
Utilize
movement
bushes
in
for
sword strikes
ambush
and
or
stuff is
drop
really nice.
strike from higher grounds to unleash a lethal blow on unexpected enemy
Did that guy just get jumped on by like a gorilla?
Yep, Panda.
Hunters
Panda just
Arena
fucks him up.
features two battle
Oh,
royale
there's a panda.
modes, solo and trio. In solo mode, you will solely take on other enemy players as well as deadly demons lurking behind your back.
I really
in a
like
30-player
the aesthetic of
free-for-all.
this, like the character
In
design and
trio
stuff,
mode,
and the
you'll
world
be able
looks
to team up
interesting
with
as
your
well.
friends, where focusing
Yeah.
on teamwork and
It is-
planning
it
out
is nice looking.
strategies
It's-
are crucial in
As
achieving
I said,
victory.
I'm kind of transfixed on the actual
There
combat.
is so much
Yeah,
to
I mean,
experience
in
this
motion.
fascinating
I
world.
love that no one
I
else
can't
has
wait
thought,
for you to
hey, how
encounter
can we make the battle
countless
royale
dangers
different? Let's
waiting
just
in
take away the
Hunter's
fucking
Arena when it
guns.
launches
Like
next
this
month on
immediately stands
PS4
out to all the
and
others I've
PS5.
seen.
Thank you for joining me.
This is cool. It's, I mean, this is like,
See you all soon.
it looks super weeby, but it isn't.
Hunter's
Arena.
I'm interested.
Jump into battle royale action when Hunters
I probably
Arena
won't play it,
Legends
but I'm
arrives
interested.
on PS4 and PS5 next month.
I'll make you play it.
PlayStation Plus members will be able to download the PS4 and PS5 versions at no extra cost.
Yeah,
starting
I'm
August
definitely
7th.
gonna check that out. That looks cool.
So here's the thing: we both have our PS4s and PS5s, right? What we could do is create an account on your PS4 one,
Yeah.
log on, and then just beat the shit out of it on your PS5 one, and then you just get loads and loads of points to level up.
That's genius.
Unless it's like defined per PS Plus account, in which
Yeah,
case,
I'll just use a different account. This, have you seen much of this game?
no, I have no idea what this is.
I'm really interested in this game.
It
So,
just looks like you're brawling in a bar.
so I think you, every time you die, you age.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
And I don't know if you get stronger or weaker or what.
I mean, logistically speaking, you should get weaker, right?
Mm.
I like he's getting grey hair.
Yeah. But I think this is the same developers that did Absolver, which was like a it was like a multiplayer but like one-on-one fighting game that looked like this, but more of an arena.
Oh.
And it was really well reviewed. People said like what they were doing with combat was really interesting. So I think this is like the evolution of that. So I'm really interested to see where it goes. Oh, it got delayed.
Ever wanted to
21.
explore an alien planet?
Basically
Then
anything in
this next
2021
game
got
is for
delayed
you.
if it was done by an indie developer.
Mm.
This is Jet, the Far Shore, created by Super Brothers and Pine Scented, with a score by Scientific. In Jet, you play as May, one of a unit of aviator scientists who embark on an interstellar trip and alight on a mythic ocean planet, where they dream of securing a future for their species. We aspired to create a video game to express our own feelings of awe when we look up at the starry sky. Jet is all about motion, whether it's weaving through trees or jumping over obstacles. I love that sense of speeding through a remarkable natural space under a grand sky, and suddenly being in someone's helmet, boots on the ground. Jet's premise involves exploration and discovery. However, our design doesn't rely on combat.
I know we're being
or
quite
resource
silent here,
extraction,
but this is
and
genuinely
characters
kind of
bring some
captivating.
myths to tread lightly,
Yeah,
giving indigenous wildlife
it is a little bit.
striving
I'm
to
trying to
adapt
stop myself from
and
being
avoid
cynical as
conflict.
well, because it also sounds like a
As a Jet
Apple
Scout
conference.
will inspect living things
Just how he's
and employ your
talking
Jet's
and the
tools
bullshit at the
to figure
beginning.
out what makes them tick.
But it does look
Occasionally, you'll
interesting.
run into trouble, and you'll have to use everything at your disposal to emerge
Not
unscathed.
actually. No, I don't actor or someone.
Over the years, we've contemplated what might be on the minds of interstellar explorers.
Also, I like how you
What
dissed
might
it
propel
because
them,
it reminds you of an
might
Apple
haunt
conference, and now
them. And so
we're probably
our
never
story
going to be
provides
sponsored by
an
Apple on this
occasional
stream.
glimpse into people's dreams,
I was like, there you
memories,
go,
and
Chris.
visions.
I'll
you
burn
just-
that
you're throwing-
bridge.
Yeah, I was thinking
At
we were
heart,
burning bridges on
Jet
our very
is
first
a
episode.
That's
laid-back,
how we do, baby.
enjoyable exploratory action adventure set within an intriguing new science fiction cosmos.
You know the
It's
whole
had a
like
long road. For a few
flying around and
years,
going to
there
planets and
were
then just
only
coming
3
out
of
and
us.
exploring them thing.
But
That's
since
No
then,
Man's Sky, isn't it?
its vision has been sharpened
Yeah.
Like,
and bolstered by an all-star squad. We hope you'll embark with us.
Oh no, you're cutting out, man.
being
Let's check in with our
Hello?
friends at SAGA for more on 2
SAGA?
upcoming adventures.
Oh, I can hear you now.
oh, you didn't hear
Fuck
me? Oh, Demon Slayer.
yes! Are you fucking kidding me? Yes! I did not think this was going to be at the state of play. Are you joking?
Is this the place?
You might need to look away, by the way. I think you'll be alright.
I'm with you.
Am I gonna see some?
I don't want to spoil
spoilers?
anything. I think you'll be fine. It's a surprise. There are demons in Demon Slayer.
And Slayers in Demon Slayer, and they slay demons in Demon Slayer. Is that like a tiger man?
It is a man wearing a boar on his head.
I'm a demon slayer. Rank Mizunoto. Tanjiro Kamado. Here I come! And he's wielding Nichirin swords. Is he with the Demon Slayer Corps?
Have you ever heard the dub before? Like, do you watch it the sub or the dub?
I watch it subbed, but when I saw the
Yes.
movie, I saw it dubbed, and I am not a
That must
massive
be
fan
weird.
of the dub. It was weird.
Yeah. That is like, yeah, that's a real dissonance going from the sub to the dub.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel so good to rip such a huge target to shreds.
How could this human wound me?
I can't decide.
I'm not giving up.
I don't. I'm still not. My mind isn't made up on this game.
Stay sharp. Give it everything
Dude, I
you've
mean,
got.
you know, to be perfectly upfront about it, anime games tend to suck.
There
I
are
can
some
count-
golden ones.
There are some golden ones, but I can count them on one hand. Generally
Yeah.
speaking, out of all the ones that got released, and like out of properties that I genuinely love, like a lot of them just are not very good.
Yeah.
A lot of them are arena fight as well.
It just looks pretty basic, man. It looks pretty basic, I'm not gonna lie. And the gameplay I've seen so far looks pretty basic.
In a warehouse, about 3 days ago, a body turned up in Yokohama. Oh, maybe you hadn't heard that.
You mean it's revenge?
Oh god.
In that case, could he possibly have hired someone else to kill the guy in his stead?
As for my request,
That lip
I'd
syncing.
like to see what you can find out. Mikoshiba's murder is too suspicious.
Oh, it's a lot better that time. Is this a DLC for that Judgment game?
Yeah. Oh no, I think Judgment got a sequel. I think this might be the sequel.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I want to play that at some point.
Did you play the first one?
Yeah. No, I've not played it. That's why,
I've not played it either. This looks like this is the same team who make the Yakuza games.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can tell.
You can
massively
absolutely tell.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you have a okay, I'm sold. Did he just kick the fucking dog?
Yeah, I will say it's the RRG Studios. They're
Just as clueless
yeah.
as you are, much as I hate to admit it.
Well, I'm sold already. I was sold 5 minutes ago.
Final warning. They've been
Have you played Yakuza Like a Dragon?
No.
I've heard some really good things about it.
Yeah, I'd love to play one of the Yakuza games.
Yeah, apparently Like a Dragon's really good, and that's a turn-based RPG instead of like a typical one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Honestly, these games look like they're worth it just for the cutscenes alone.
100%.
Our next game was revealed just a few weeks ago. Time for a closer look at the expanded and enhanced Death Stranding Director's Cut, coming soon to PS5.
So to a lot of people, an expanded Death Stranding
Once there was
just
an
means like
explosion.
even more open
More
field,
walking.
right?
I hope this doesn't have spoilers in it.
To life as we know it.
Have you ever? I've not played Death
I've
Stranding.
not played it
but
either.
it's interesting.
I'm kind of glad I didn't now. I'd rather just wait and
Came
play
the
the
next
PS5 version
explosion.
anyway.
An explosion.
I
That
feel
will
the
be
same
our
way about
last.
basically anything that has a PS5 version.
Did you play Ghost of Tsushima
We're
yet?
waiting for you on the beach.
Yeah, I played like half of it.
Because
I was glad I
Gonna
went.
get rid of the BTs.
a directed
that's got
version
a
of
director's
that.
cut.
Yeah.
But that I'm not paying like an extra
at least we'll
whatever it
have
is to get the
hope.
director's cut. I'd rather just play because the version I have already is
care about
fine
connecting
enough. It still
anything.
runs really well. Like I don't see the point in upgrading to the director's cut
Yeah.
besides the DLC.
It's crazy how good that game looks on PS5 already.
Yeah, exactly. He runs at 60 already. Like gets a frame rate boost and fidelity, so it's still as nice as it can be. So I'm pretty satisfied.
Okay, I might actually play Death Stranding now. Now that it looks like a game. I'm not-
I just, it just never held my interest. Like, I was looking at it going, every time I saw gameplay, I was like, I don't feel like it would fit in well with, like, how impatient I am.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry? What? Is that like a race car in Death Stranding?
I mean, I'm just interested in the story more than anything. I mean, I'm sure it will
That's
just be
actually the end of the
convoluted.
story.
Yeah.
It does seem very
I'll be
convoluted,
waiting
yeah.
for
You're
you.
right.
I mean,
Okay,
it's
that was actually-
Kojima.
Of course.
If you asked him to draw a straight line, he'd do a spiral.
Deathloop hits PS5
There you go.
on September 14th. Let's check out
Here we
the extended
go.
gameplay demo.
Oh, I know what game this is. This is the one made by the people who make Dishonored.
Yeah.
Arcane. Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, I remember the first trailer for this.
Dude, the trailers they've released for this game are amazing. Some of the best trailers.
Arcane are a really good studio. Like, especially for this first-person open world type kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't give Dishonored enough of a chance.
I'm an idiot. I only ever played Dishonored 2.
Oh yeah, you see, I did the opposite. I started Dishonored 1 when 2 came out, and I got bored of 1 because I just wanted to play 2, and then never finished either.
I didn't finish 2, by the way, but I think games like that, they have to try extra hard to hold my attention. But I did enjoy it. I think this is going to sound really strange, but do you know games that have like a good and bad mechanic, whereas like a good and evil mechanic, sorry?
Yeah.
I don't like being punished for being evil, and I know that sounds a bit strange, but in Dishonored 2, the more people you kill instead of like knocking out, it affects the game negatively.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And like that kind of annoyed me.
Yeah, you get punished
like,
for your playstyle.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
was my problem with like Undertale as well, and then that's my problem with Dishonored 2. Is like if I want to be an asshole, I want to play as an asshole.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that.
But every loop is an opportunity. With every cycle, you will learn more about the
Like, what's the point of being a stealthy ninja, going around, sneaking around if you can't slit people's throats?
Yeah, it does take fun out of it. It does. And I get that that's like, they're telling a story and they want the gameplay to fit in the story, but like, maybe at the beginning, just like have an option, like, look, do you want this to be immersive with the story, or do you want the gameplay to be disconnected?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, you kill thousands and thousands and thousands of people as Nathan Drake, but I never thought twice about it.
And the people that do that use that as an argument, it's like, it's a fucking game, bro. Like, it is a game.
Yeah, if I wanted you to give me a message about oh, it's that warp mechanic that they have in Dishonored as well, that was really cool.
So I really love the aesthetic of this game, and this is what I mean with the trailers. The trailers are done so well because they really give like that vibe of like exploitation movies and stuff like that, and Grindhouse almost. But like it almost looks like even the visuals for it looks like a Hitchcock poster. Like the design of this game is awesome, and the sound design
really
and everything.
Lucky. Oh, okay. You can just
allows you to die and rewind twice before the loop restarts. You have also seen Carnesis that allows you to yank enemies around and shift the short-range teleport.
Hey, we killed you.
They actually know that they killed you. So it's not that you're rewinding time; you're just rewinding yourself.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
So, if I'm remembering right, it is a multiplayer game as well, but I don't want to keep talking over the dude.
Okay, I mean, you know, people, if they're tuning in to listen to the stream, they're tuning in for us, not for this guy.
Good point. So,
yes,
I
fuck
think
you, Arcane Studios head.
fuck you guys, this is our time.
You may have made this really cool looking game, but this is our stream. This is our territory. Yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
So it's multiplayer, but the second player plays as the person trying to kill you.
Okay.
So it's like a constant tug of war.
We use the haptic feedback and the adaptive trigger of the PS5's dual.
So it's like having a real life nemesis following
Yeah.
you. Like, I say real life, a player controlled nemesis following you.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly how it is.
That sounds very stressful.
Yeah. I'm really interested in this game, man. I think it was supposed to be a launch title.
Yeah, because they showed it off in that second state of play last year.
Yeah.
The body count is gonna get high.
As I said, Arcane know how to make a really good game though, and this looks really nice.
I love that they're doing something completely new as well.
There's always multiple ways to approach a target, and we just learned of one. A back entrance to the mansion.
But yeah, this is probably going to be their last game on the PlayStation.
Often pays to stop and listen.
Oh yeah, shit.
Because yeah, they're
Bethesda.
Xbox, aren't they? Bethesda, exactly. So this is probably going to be their one and only PlayStation game this gen. Unless we see like a big switch in Xbox's style and their plan going forward, but I doubt it. I only found recently, I only convinced myself recently that I can hack first-person games.
That you can what?
That I can actually play first-person games. Because
yeah.
before I used to just be awful at them, anything in first-person, because like I get like disoriented really easily in first-person, and I get snuck up on, and I hated it growing up.
Yeah.
But then after playing Resident Evil 8, and I kind of felt like, okay, you know what? If I can handle this, I can kind of handle anything, right?
Yeah. Surely.
Chit-chatting when I should be killing motherfuckers, apparently.
Games that give you a lot of like different tools to play with and versatility and going around and like killing a bunch of different enemies in one arena, kind of like how you get in Spider-Man and like the Batman games, is that you've got so many different gadgets and shit that you can play around with.
Yeah.
And you can take out the enemies in whichever way you want. I love that kind of freedom.
Definitely. Freedom's the right word. And it just it makes you feel like you're in control of the situation as well when everything goes right.
Exactly. It's like one of my favorite things to do in the Spider-Man PS4 game, or even like the Batman game especially, is going around one of the arenas with enemies and just taking them all out with takedowns and stealth takedowns and not being caught. And it's like the game doesn't tell you to do that. I chose to do that, and when I pull it off, I feel really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why didn't he take the shot? This is probably going to be the last game.
Yeah, I imagine this will be the last one.
Yeah, that's definitely Alexis. Allez up! Alexis just dropped an upgrade to the Carnesis power and a hefty dose of Residium. Time to get the hell out of here.
How did he even open the hatch?
No idea. It's like you have remote control over things around you. Because of that arm. Is that the music that plays? Like,
yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So this is what I mean, like, the design choices behind this game are all fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I don't usually like just watching games, but I'd actually be more than happy just watching someone play this. It's
someone
just
who,
so interesting.
I know if I played this, I would keep dying. So it's probably like I can really take in the visuals a lot more watching somebody else play this. But this is great. This looks really cool. But the music has really sold me though. If this is the actual music that plays during gameplay.
Yeah. It's kind of Cowboy Bebop vibes as well.
It's the blues, isn't it? The blues and the jazz.
Yeah.
What you did.
I like the dialogue as well. Ooh, they know each other, huh? I see you, Deathloop. Hey, it's not far out.
That's a wrap for today.
That's where all of these are coming out in September. Is that it?
Before you know it.
That's it. We got a release date.
That is it, and that is it for the state of play, everybody. I don't know about you, but that didn't feel like half an hour.
Uh, yeah, I went pretty quick.
That went really quick. Normally it's like trailer after trailer after trailer, whereas this was kind of more just focusing on a few games here and there. So it really is pretty much you said it was going to be, which is what they said it is in the blog. So as we said earlier at the beginning of the stream, it's very much them tapering expectations and doing that really well.
Yeah.
Except for that mouse game and the jet game, I'm assuming those are the indie games that they mentioned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the mouse game, I'd be surprised if it was an indie because that was VR, right? Do you think if they got
Oh,
indie studios working VR? I mean,
I'm
maybe.
assuming. I'm assuming. Well, I guess that's true. Actually, I don't know who makes
I don't
VR
know.
games is the thing because I've just never really paid attention to them. But yeah, man, how you feeling in terms of the overall state of play? How you feeling? Do you think that was a good one?
Um, I don't know if it was necessary,
Yeah,
to
I
be
don't think it was
honest.
necessary either. I think they could have easily have just gone, here's the trailer for this, here's the trailer for that individually.
Yeah,
Like those,
definitely.
none of those games had any cohesion with each other. I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah, that was a good way of putting it. They didn't blend well at all. I mean, other than the fact that, I mean, the only things that actually made sense to announce at the same time was that
Mm.
kind of fighting battle royale game that they announced and Deathloop, because both of those are coming in September.
Yeah.
Oh no, the fighting game's coming in August, and then Deathloop's
Wait,
coming in September.
I
So
guess the
even that,
Demon Slayer game was like around then as well, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. I think maybe just because they all have kind of similar release dates, so they're just kind of pushing them all out in one. Do you know? I
Mm.
think they feel as though they need to do something because they weren't really present at E3. So
They
maybe
were
it's
literally
like
weren't present at E3. Like they decided
they
not to
weren't
do
there
a
at
show.
all.
Yeah, they
Ah, shit.
the last 2-3 years Sony have pulled out of E3, and then instead they do their own state of play, which is why we predicted it was going to be a state of play sooner or later. But to
Mm,
be honest, if they showed up at E3 with like that, then people probably would have ranked them as low as like
yeah,
Ubisoft or Square's because there
yeah.
wasn't a whole lot there, especially in terms of first party games. Um, there was no Horizon. Weirdly, there was no God
Oh
of
yeah,
War.
that's one of the things they mentioned in the blog as well was that there wouldn't be any of that.
Oh, there you go. That makes
Yeah, it
sense.
would just be
Yeah,
third party stuff. So, but yeah, I think personally, I think they kind of took away from the shine of Deathloop a little bit by lumping it in with the rest of those. I
we're
think,
lumping it in with the battle royale games, definitely.
yeah, man. I mean, I feel like Deathloop was in a class of its own compared to everything else that was just shown.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I'd be a bit pissed off if I was Arcane watching that. But any exposure is good, I guess.
I think
Um,
with the way Sony normally do things, there's two or three state of plays in a year, and one normally comes in sort of the autumn term, the beginning of autumn. So like the summer one, even last year, the summer one wasn't very good because I remember the summer one last year basically just announced PS5 and didn't announce any of the games, and then the autumn one, roundabout when the PS5 was already out, that one was really really good because that was the one which like announced like Final Fantasy 16 and Deathloop and all of these Horizon and etc etc. So I think we're just at the wrong part of the year for like the big names.
yeah, no, definitely. I
And
agree with that.
Horizon got a lot of play at the last one. Like Horizon, they did a fair amount of gameplay with
Yeah,
it.
and
So
it broke records for the views as well. I think it got that it's the state of play with the most amount of views, I think.
there you go,
I can't
exactly.
remember if it beat The Last of Us or not, but yeah.
I'd be very surprised if it beat The Last of Us, because because Last of Us 2. Imagine, I remember the hype for that when
Yeah, the
that
hype
was
was
first
insane.
announced in the very first place. Like that, that was like everybody just wants to see what happens next after the first game. So
Yeah.
I'd be surprised to hear anything kind of trumped that.
Mm, yeah, maybe you're right. I think maybe it came just behind The Last of Us then.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, always glad to see new stuff.
Yeah,
But I just don't know if it was necessary. I think if they're gonna do a state of play, do a state of play.
yeah,
You know. Do you know what is interesting as well? I think a lot of this kind of self censorship has happened. Do you remember the E3 in 2018 where they just shot their load and it was just like reveal after reveal after reveal. Like they revealed God of War, they revealed The Last of Us, and they revealed like Crash Bandicoot coming back, and like all of this shit in one E3 presentation, and it was like the best E3 ever. And then
Yeah.
subsequently, they didn't show anything for like a good 4 years afterwards.
Yeah, that would have been like 2016, isn't it? 2016 or 2017.
Yeah,
Because I remember Crash came out in 2017, May time. So it would have been the year before that. Because that Crash one was amazing,
yeah,
where they announced all of a sudden, oh yeah, by the way, remakes of Crash 1, 2, and 3. It's like, holy shit, what?
it was
Why
so
isn't
good.
why isn't this the headline? Um, but
Because
yeah,
God
I
of
think we're
War
just
was the headline, bitches.
which is fair enough. Well, that was also 2017, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I think when it comes to these state of plays, they're not quite. I don't get personally as hyped up for them as I do for like Nintendo Directs, because
yeah.
I know Sony don't really put as much effort into them, especially with their first party stuff, as Nintendo tend to. Um, I mean, look, case in point, at the last Nintendo Direct, we got Metroid Dread and like a bunch of whole other stuff announced, whereas this time it was kind of, we had a bit of a damp squib of a presentation with this state of play. But, everyone's due a few bad ones every so often, but I'm kind of glad Sony didn't turn up to E3, as we said.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I would. Are they gonna do? Do they have any like big state of plays planned? Do they have any big events
Um,
coming up planned?
they tend to announce these things like the
Pretty
week
last
before.
minute. Yeah,
Yeah, they don't tend to come out and say this is when we're going to do a state of play weeks and weeks in advance. Um, but I wouldn't expect it to be that long before the next one. Like I swear the one the last one which had Final Fantasy VII integrated and all of that. I swear that wasn't that long ago.
it wasn't.
No, it wasn't that long ago. It
It
was what,
wasn't. It
March?
must have been like 2 months ago max.
Exactly. So I'd expect in another 2 months we'll probably get another one. Um, well, we do have to kind of keep in mind that probably because of the pandemic, game production on their side was definitely taking a hit, and we were still getting games like in 2020, even though that's when it was hitting the world really badly. But what I'd
Mm.
expect is the consequences of 2020 are going to be felt this year more than anything, right?
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
So
I
that's why I'm not too surprised that like we're not getting big tile after big tile, even though it's the PS5's launch year.
Yeah, true. What I would say though, because we're kind of shitting on it, as a
Mm.
positive, I would say that the roster of games were very diverse that they were showing. Like,
Yeah,
so that's cool to see. Everything looked a bit. I mean, we took the piss out of some of them for looking like rip-offs of other games, but having said that, each game that was shown did look different from the last.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's
And
good
I
to
like
see.
that's good to see, and I like that they give a platform as much as they do to the indies, because they could easily just be like, "Hey, look at all our AAA titles and the
I
battle
think
royale titles."
that's a case of timing. Have you seen all of the shit that they've been getting? For there was a article that came out, I think this week or late last
Mm.
week, and it gained a lot of traction, and it was about indie studio developers basically just talking about the difficulties that they've had with PlayStation and how
Oh, really?
PlayStation have been neglecting indie studios. And
That's
basically,
not
if you're an
great.
indie developer, PlayStation's the worst place to be, apparently, just with how they handle the PlayStation Store and stuff like that. Makes it quite difficult for new indie games to get noticed and stuff. Um, I mean, that's the tip of the iceberg of what this article was talking about, but that's just an example. But that's kind
Yeah.
of been PlayStation's press over the past week or so. So it's interesting that you point out that this state of play is kind of showing off the indies.
Mm.
I don't know if that
Yeah,
was deliberate
an
on their part now.
overcorrection.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like
definitely.
trying to overcompensate for it.
Yeah,
It's like, no, no, look, we love the indies. The indies are our favorites.
yeah, definitely. And do you remember when the PS4 first came out? There were like
Mm.
hardly any launch titles, definitely at
Yeah,
least like hardly any first party ones either.
we've
So
got Knack.
yeah, fucking knack, right? Holy shit, I can't remember that's how bad it was. Yeah, really bad start in terms of game launch games, and they leaned heavily so much on indie. Like I remember having a PS4 and just downloaded. I played Guacamelee for
I love
so
Guacamelee. I
Guacamelee.
love Guacamelee. It's so good,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I was literally playing that for like the first few weeks I had my PlayStation just because there was nothing else to play.
Yeah.
Just that and other indie games. And they were promoting indie games all over the PlayStation Store. They were all on like sale, if not free, and they were really pushing out all of these indie titles. And that is the most love I've ever seen PlayStation give the indie scene. And then it was like
Indies are
as soon
just
as
so.
the first party games started coming out,
Mm.
then there was no focus on the indie games.
But this is the thing, like indies are so vital to a console's life
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you can't release more than what, like 2, 3 big AAA games in a year, right? Or maybe 4, 5 at max. In between that time, people need stuff to play, and that's where the indies really take up that spot. I mean,
Yeah.
as I keep bringing them up, but if you look at like Nintendo, um, especially in these last few years, the Switch has been perfect for indies, I'd say, because like that's where I played majority of my indie games, including Guacamelee,
Yeah.
is because he's like, oh well, I've got portable versions of them. They all play really well portably, and it's like I can just take them around with me. And a lot of indie games are quite easy to pick up and play as well, and that just suits that platform so perfectly. I think with PlayStation is like they just need to lean into it a little bit more and give them their dues.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I completely agree. And everything you just said is exactly why I want to switch.
You should get one. There's a new model coming out in
Yeah?
October. The OLED version is called. It's literally called OLED. Like the word OLED is in the name of the title.
Ah.
And
Can you
it's
still dock it and stuff?
yeah, you can still dock it. It still comes with a dock. It's just that the screen is now an OLED and is bigger, so it's a nicer looking screen for when you play handheld.
Mm. How much is
So
it?
it
Do you know?
350. So the normal model is 300, and this one's going to be 350.
Okay.
So, if you haven't got one, because I'm not going to get it because I already own a Switch, right? And I don't
Yeah,
really see it
yeah,
as much of an upgrade. But if you don't have one yet, it's more than worth it.
yeah. Oh, let's see how it goes. Well, we can't end the stream talking about Nintendo. So let's
No,
go.
let's definitely wrap things up and
Which
start
one?
getting.
Okay, so outside of Deathloop, because I think we both agree that one kicked the shit out of everything else shown.
Yeah, pretty much. And I
Yeah.
think Sony knew that because that's why they dedicated the most time to it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it was the only AAA game shown, so it's unfair to even say it. But
To even
outside,
compare, yeah.
yeah. So outside of Deathloop, which is which one are you most intrigued by?
Um. There was a few.
Top three.
Oh God, do you know what? I'm gonna have to like list them off in my head. That battle royale one we were talking about, which looked really nice in motion and had the swords and stuff.
Yeah.
Sword fighting battle royale game that looked cool in concept. I think obviously you'd have to play it a little bit to see how it controls, but that
Mm.
actually looked quite interesting.
It
The one
did
where
look.
you have like the big massive fuck off panda.
Yeah, it looked like it played well as well. I mean, maybe we'll play it and it'll be awful, but it did look. The combat looks interesting. The world looked
It looks
interesting. The
it looks like it
traversal
has a
looked
good
cool.
flow. Yeah, it looks like it has a good flow to it. When you're
Yeah.
fighting.
I think that's my
So
biggest problem with battle royale games is that you're just fucking running around for ages until you get shot, and then that's it. You're in a loading screen waiting for another game. Whereas this
yeah,
actually looked like it had traversal options and like getting around the world was fun.
yeah, exactly. Then there is that game with the rocket ship. What's it called? Jets or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
But anyway, but yeah, and that one that looked interesting conceptually. I think they were going for like a very distinct art style,
yeah,
and it's like the idea of going around the different planets and then coming off, and then all of a sudden you're in first person mode. As I said, it did remind me a little bit of like conceptually, it reminded me of like a bit more of a low budget No Man's Sky,
yeah,
but at the same time, that kind of stuff doesn't really appeal to me to begin with. But as I can see how people can get wrapped up into it. Uh, and I don't know, like throw the Demon Slayer one in there just because fuck it, an anime game,
fuck
and
yeah,
generally speaking, anime games that either go really well or terribly,
yeah,
and there's not a lot of in between. There's not a lot of like average ones out
yeah,
there from so I think once I like affirm myself with the with the source material and watch all of Demon Slayer
Yeah.
and the movie, then I'll like make a judgment on the game, see how it's going.
Yeah. I think it will be average. I think I'll be happy with average for the Demon Slayer
I'll be
game.
happy with average. I've
Yeah.
been conditioned.
I mean,
I've been conditioned to accept average as good
a lot of
because I
people
have
are.
low standards.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean the Naruto Storm games are really good and really popular, and a lot of people
Yeah.
are hoping that this is like a lot of people, because I don't think it's the same developer, but I think they're using the same engine. I'm not sure. I need to look
Okay.
into it.
I've heard like good things about those Naruto games.
Oh yeah, the Naruto games are fucking great.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I think people are expecting too much from Demon Slayer to think it's going to be as good as that, because Demon Slayer's had like one season. I don't know how the character of roster, the roster's going to look, because like there aren't that many characters in the show. So
Yeah.
I think it's weird that they're already making it with the amount of fucking amazing anime that have come out over the past year or two. I feel like, yeah, Demon Slayer is the most popular. Having said that, I think it was probably the worst one to pick to make a game of.
It's to capitalize on the popularity of the movie, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
And but I
100%
could tell in the graphics when he was running around, like, it looks dog shit. I mean, compared to it, I hate to say it, but it just doesn't look good. I mean, it wasn't animated well. The character models don't look that great. It really looks like, I mean, I'm sure they started development on this the second they saw the revenue the film was making. Do you know what I mean? Like, this does not look like a labor of love at all. It just, you can tell straight away that it's just, I'm not shitting on the people that made it, but maybe I'll eat my words. I hope it's good. I would love a good Demon Slayer game, but
it just reminds me of every other anime game that they've pushed out because the series got popular. My Hero Academia is the prime example that I can think of. They made a couple of those games, and like one for every other season, and it's very much what you said about the roster not quite being there. I remember in the first game, it's like you get to play as your favorite heroes, and then they mentioned the villain, and I'm like, that's not exactly what I have in mind. But also, you haven't developed the series enough to get me into one of the to get me roped into playing a fighting game that was based on the series. But yeah, that's another one. It's just like it's an arena fighter, and I just don't really. I'm not feeling it anymore. I think. I'm just like I don't know how many more anime games I can really have in me.
I mean, as much as I'm bitching, I probably will buy it day one. I probably will buy it day one.
Let me know how it goes, and if it's good, I might get it after I watch the series.
You absolutely have to watch the series. I'm just gonna keep bugging you to watch it.
I will.
But I stand by what I said. I think they're both as good as each other. If I had to pick, I would probably say I prefer Jujutsu, but Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer need to be at the top of your list, 100%.
I get anime homework from so many of my friends.
I know.
It's becoming a problem.
Start watching it, motherfucker.
And the problem is that all of you recommend the same ones, so really the problem is me.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
But yeah, man, I feel like for a first ever stream, that was fun, and I'm sure if you guys who are watching stick with us, we'll get really good over some time, maybe.
If you're watching, why?
If you're watching, don't judge our future comedy careers on how this went.
Oh, please do. I judge us completely. I mean, I'm fully aware we're talking to an empty room right now, but this has been fun. This has been a good start. Thank you, PlayStation, for this opportunity. I want to thank...
And for sponsoring us.
Yeah.
Eventually. Thank you, PlayStation. Even though we just shat on half of the games, and you...
But we do it with love.
Yeah, we criticize because we love you, you know?
Yeah.
We criticize because we care. That's the best way to put it.
Criticism from caring. Absolutely. All right, man. Well, let's call it a wrap. Thank you for watching, guys. And peace out.
I have been Zane, and
I am Chris.
And thanks for watching and listening.
Bye.